People are too fixated on how much weight I've lost. As we age, it's harder to retain that muscle. So for me, muscle preserving is really my number one goal here. I'd rather my clients start slightly higher on their calories. I want them thriving. I want their calories and I want their hormones happy. My clients still, even now, I've got a client I work with, and when I say to her, right, she started like, she was only on 1500, and I'm like, do you know what? I still think you're on too low. Your body isn't responding. I'm going to put you up to 1600. And that thought terrified her. What? I said, right, 2 weeks time we'll do your inches. She lost an inch and a half. Under-eating is just as bad as overeating. I said, if you're doing the gym 5 days a week, you're doing 15,000 steps and you're eating 1500 calories a day, that is not enough. When you lose estrogen is an anabolic hormone just as much as we need testosterone. They're losing that. If people don't do HRT for, I don't know, for some reason they've had breast cancer and they can't have it, they need to be lifting strong to make sure they're getting that stimulus to build some muscle, because otherwise you are going to have sarcopenia, you are going to have osteopenia. You need to do something to protect yourself now. Females shouldn't be scared to start lifting.
Welcome back to the PerformWell Podcast. This is the podcast for you if you're looking for performance and wellness optimization so that you can not only smash your career, but also have a better life, better relationships, and better health. We believe that performance and wellness are yin and yang and work together. So listen in as we dive into topics that are going to help you optimize your life for the better. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. We've got Gemma. Gemma is a PT in Southampton. How are we doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, she's also host of a radio station. What's it called again?
It's Voice FM.
Voice FM, that's the one. Yeah, I swear it was Radio Soda last time I looked. I always get it wrong.
Well, you did that to me and we were like, I'm going to the BBC today.
I think the map's very interesting, but I mean, we're going to talk to you today about HRT, to be honest with you, because I think HRT is massively, what's the word? Underexplained or overexplained? One of those two.
Or people are scared of.
That's it.
People are terrified of it, to be fair. You think about any conversations that people have in comment sections on social media, and people are like, oh, do I take it? Don't I take it? There's so little understanding around that area.
People don't know the difference between HRT or TRT. I mean, in some ways it's very similar, but hormone replacement therapy and testosterone replacement therapy. So which one is it? Is it HRT?
It's HRT, but to be fair, some females don't even know they've got testosterone in their body. When I started testosterone replacement therapy, they're like, what do you mean we've got testosterone? I'm like, yeah, we have testosterone.
Marjana's got a lot.
Marjana has got a lot, yeah. But the thing is...
Marjana?
No.
Oh, okay.
You'll see it one day on this podcast. Yeah. As a whole then, so let's kind of delve into your background as well. What kind of drew you to start doing the job that you do now?
So I kind of just fell into fitness when I was 17 and I remember having my first kind of gym induction and I was hooked on the endorphins. But it did take a little bit of a dark path because obviously I got so hooked on it. And then I was like really came a little bit obsessive about food and calories and losing weight. So then I did develop a little bit of an eating disorder. So like I got down to like 7 stone. I was really thin. I still thought I was fat in the mirror. And it wasn't until my mum took me clothes shopping that she'd saw me and she was like, oh my God, like you could see like my ribs and everything. So I got referred to the Priory and then started like building back up. And that kind of made me realise how important it is, especially for young girls, to think about a positive body image and how it's about being strong and not skinny. And that was kind of why I delve into the job I do, to help other people be more positive about their body image.
It's such a stir as well. We had KJ on the podcast and she spoke about body image from the modelling standpoint as well. And I think there's so many conversations, and especially the pressure that comes around women's bodies as well. I think that's ever changing. Men seems to be pretty standard. We don't normally change in kind of what a physique. It normally just becomes more and more lean, or more and more like just get bigger and bigger, basically.
Apart from the dad bod era with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah, dad bod era.
That was the only time it changed for a previous amount. And a lot of people with six packs, a lot of men with six packs get butthurt about it because they put so much effort into getting in good shape, and then they see someone with a dad bod do better than them. It's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
One of your focus points is about teaching and education around menopause and the different facets of it. So we do want to delve into that today, because there will be a lot of people who listen to this, whether this is kind of, partners of, or the people watching it, in terms of just lack of understanding around that area. So can you kind of explain menopause, what it is, how it affects people?
Yeah, I mean, if you look on like NHS website, the first thing it will say, if over the age of 45, the doctors will see you, they'll do a blood test. But what they don't tell you, that some people go for it as early as 38, 39, and those are the people that get missed out. So they'll go in to the GP and say, look, I'm having some symptoms. I might be having some irregular periods, or I'm having hot flushes, or I'm really itchy. You can get all sorts of problems from itchy skin. You can get more UTIs. You can get your hair starts to thin. You lose your sex drive. You've got breast tenderness, sleep issues. There are so many symptoms. It's ridiculous. But because most GPs will go, oh, you're too young. You're still having your periods, therefore you cannot be menopausal, and they're sending them away. So they will try and maybe think about doing a blood test. But the problem is, if you do a blood test, your hormones fluctuate from time to time. So that at that point, when they've done that blood test, they might come back and go, oh, I've looked at your symptoms and actually your estrogen is fine, your progesterone is fine, so therefore you're not perimenopausal. But actually, it's been proven time and time by lots of different scientists, they should be listening to female symptoms, not their blood test results. How are you going? Tell me your symptoms, and then starting them on a low course of HRT and then managing it by then. But they don't.
Interesting. So what is the reason why people in their 30s get menopause in the first place? Is it genetic? Is it something to do with diet? It
can be. At the end of the day, it kind of you need to speak to your mum and be like, right, you kind of normally will follow the pattern. So if they've gone for it early, you then may go for it early. Some people go for it medically. So if they've had issues, they've had to have their womb removed, you'll get put into menopause within 24 hours. Yeah. And I have spoken to some females that weren't told, right, when we take your womb away, we need to talk about you are going to be put into menopause in 24 hours. And this woman woke up, hot sweats, her mood swings were horrendous. She didn't know. She felt like she'd been hit by a bus, and no one told her about you are going to be put into menopause. So she said, I didn't know what was happening. And I was like, that is outrageous. As a surgeon, taking away your womb, surely the number one factor is, right, this is going to happen. It's going to stop this, but we need to think about the hormones you're missing out and how we're going to protect you from that and how you're going to feel after you wake up from surgery. It's crazy. She must have back in the day, they used to lock women up. The early days, it was hysteria. Really? So they thought we were insane. So they've just put us away.
What?
Yeah.
Like a witch.
Absolutely. The women have lost the plot, so let's lock them up because they didn't know what to do with us.
My God.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy.
That's insane.
So what were the symptoms then exactly of someone going through menopause and then just before menopause, which I believe is called perimenopause?
So when you go through perimenopause, that can last anywhere from 4 to 8 years. Yeah. Most females will officially get into menopause by around 51, and that's normally a standard. If you haven't had a period for 12 consecutive months, you are considered menopause. Now you've kind of come out the other side. But the thing is, there are so many symptoms. Some people can really suffer mental health wise because you've got estrogen in your brain and you're losing the serotonin levels. One thing can happen is you have mood swings and mood changes. So someone that you've been married to for 20 years, all of a sudden you wake up and they don't even recognize themselves in the mirror. They're all judging themselves, or they don't know how that relationship feels anymore, or they feel like they can't cope with work. And some females don't talk about it. Some females have even committed suicide because they felt like there's no hope, they don't know what to do. And it's all because we're losing estrogen. You've got 200 receptors over your entire endocrine system. So it's not just about replacing how you feel, your body needs it. Yeah.
I mean, the last time I had a super dose amount of estrogen is when I was on steroids in the past. And, when man's testosterone is really high, estrogen comes up to balance. And then when the testosterone leaves, you're left with this estrogen. And I just remember being very emotional. That can't be the only thing that it's used for.
No, it doesn't just affect your emotion. Obviously, estrogen affects your brain health. Yeah. It protects your heart. It protects your blood vessels. So with your bladder, you start with an alkaline, and then you become more acidic as you lose it. So that creates more bacteria growth. So women are getting UTIs. They're getting itchy vagina. Sex is painful because estrogen provides blood flow to that vagina wall. So then it thins, becomes more painful. So that's obviously a problem. You've got risk of osteoporosis. You've got risk of dementia as you're losing that estrogen to your brain cells. So obviously it affects the weight. So estrogen distributes the weight quite evenly, and when we lose that, we tend to build it up around our stomach instead. So there are so many symptoms and why we need estrogen in our body.
Would you say that most people with menopause that come to you, they'll say something about they're struggling to lose weight?
Yeah.
There seems to be this link between people in menopause that think that potentially even have trouble losing weight?
I do think they will say that. They will say, well, I'm menopausal, so therefore I can't lose the weight. But I will always say to them, well, actually, let's look at your other factors, because most of these females that are in their late 40s aren't strength training. They've got desk jobs. What's their diet like? Are they drinking too much alcohol? These are all factors, how's your sleep? How's your stress level? So it's not just, I think people are too quick to blame the menopause. Yes, estrogen does make a difference. Yes, you become insulin resistant. So we need to think about how we're eating, but it can be a combination of factors that lead to that weight gain.
I think a lot of people will blame a lot of things other than themselves. I think a lot of people can't take responsibility for their own actions, and they think that the smallest thing is the reason they're blocked. So I would probably tie that to most people for most things.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, my sister actually said a comment the other day and it annoyed me a bit. I can't remember who it was now. It was a lady in like 55 and she said to her husband, oh my God, have you seen that woman on Facebook? Like, she looks insane. Oh, she's so lucky. And I went, hang on a minute. It's got nothing to do with luck. She gets up every day. She grafts. She makes the choice to make good decisions. It's not luck. It's hard bloody work.
And people don't want to put that in. People just don't want to put that in, and it's so easy to turn around and play the blame game. And it's not, just with menopause. It's a lot of people, just people who come in and want to lose physical weight themselves. Normally there's something like, I'm just so stressed with work. It's passing the blame onto something else and passing the paddle somewhere, so then you don't have to take the accountability for what's actually the problem. I do think somewhere online there is a really blurred area between people marketing themselves as coaches by turning around and being like, it's not the menopause, it's because you keep putting food in your mouth that creates this really, I'd say, horrible complex for people. And then we have to unravel said complex because they believe that it is down to the fact that they're too gluttonous or XYZ. But I think it's really important to turn around and say to people, it's like, you may have these symptoms, you may have this condition, but it's not the end of the world. You just, as you said, you need to work on it. If you're not willing to work on it, then it's not going to change. It's not going to happen. I've had clients for 2 years before, and after 2 years, they've turned around and gone, yeah, I now need to actually put some effort in. I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been saying. But until it goes through and until they have that moment, the sporadic moment of being like, okay, actually, I do need to change, nothing changes. Everything stays the same. And you can talk as much as you want.
So with that being said then, what do we do? Let's say a woman comes to you, she's 51 years old, menopausal. You get her to track her calories. She says, oh, I'm eating about 1,200 a day. Let's just say she is actually eating 1,200 a day, because sometimes they lie, sometimes they don't realise. What can we do to help them going through menopause?
So firstly, let's put it out that 1,200 is way too low.
Yeah.
And like anything, the most things that females need to think about is hormones play a huge factor. So I would say, one, she's already going to have high levels of cortisol because she's under eating, and that's a stressful event to the body in itself. 2, is she doing any strength training? 3, how's her sleep? 4, what type of carbohydrates are you eating? How's your gut health? So I would look at all of her lifestyle factors as a general whole, and then I would start to reverse diet her up slowly to get to a point for her body then to start working efficiently and go, oh, hang on a minute, we're all right. We don't need to panic anymore. We're getting plenty of food. And my clients still, even now, I've got a client I work with, and when I say to her, right, she started like, she was only on 1,500, and I'm like, do you know what? I still think you're on too low. Your body isn't responding. I'm going to put you up to 1,600. And that thought terrified her. What? You're going to put my calories up? I said, trust the process. Yeah. I said, right, 2 weeks time we'll do your inches. She lost 1.5 inches. And she's like, I just don't understand. I went, thing is, under-eating is just as bad as overeating. I said, if you're doing the gym 5 days a week, you're doing 15,000 steps and you're eating 1,500 calories a day, that is not enough. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And there's so many women and men as well, to be fair. But mostly it's women that I've noticed that go on that low of calories for some reason. And they do a lot. Their metabolism should be up here with the amount they're doing, but they're just not losing. And then obviously people on Instagram will say, well, you're not tracking everything properly. Like you're not tracking cooked chicken the right way, for example, just something simple as that, or you've had a little bit too much oil. But then they swear by that they're being real with it, and you can't like completely go against them and say, okay, well, you're lying, because they might generally be doing that. So you've got to look at other factors. I had a similar client, by the way, Sasha. She won't mind me saying this, because she came to me with 1,200 calories a day. I said it was too low. I told her to go up 1,600. Scared the fuck out of her as well. And she did start losing weight not initially, but as soon as she started getting up to 1,600, 2,000, she started losing weight for the first time in years, and she's never looked back.
Or the other
crazy.
thing you'll get is you might come across a female and they're doing 6 days of cardio, and I'm like, what are you doing that for? I need to lose weight. I'm like, let's just cut the cardio back, because obviously we already know, like, when we're in perimenopause and menopause, your hormones are over the show, yeah? Although HIIT training, sit training can be effective, again, if you're doing too much of anything, that's going to put you in a stressful state situation. So let's just rein that back in. Let's start building some strength foundation. Then we can talk about maybe adding in a bit of HIIT. Let's just cut it back for a minute, because sometimes that can leave the body overinflamed or overly stressed, and that can lead to like adrenal fatigue and things like that. So it's really important, as a female coach, I sit down and go, right, first thing I'll do is I'll have a consultation. I want to know everything about you. Tell me from start to end, what have you been doing? So then I can go, right, let's just change that. Let's just change that. And they're like, what? Because that's the whole point of being what I do, yeah? I want to know what I can do to help you. That is why I do this job. That's why I know about the hormones and menopause. So, because females feel like when they get to that point where they cannot lose weight and they hate their bodies, it's so sad for me to see that. And I'm like, look, trust me, we can fix this.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's attack the calories in versus calorie out crowd for a real moment, because we know calorie deficit is how we lose weight. Yeah. But not everything's that clear cut. So why is it that the cortisol, being at 1,200 calories a day, is making it hard for them to lose fat, when calories in, calories out technically means they should be losing weight?
They should be losing weight, but when you look at, if you've got a perimenopausal female you're dealing with, not someone in their 20s who could probably get away with losing weight, their hormones are already up here. So a 1,200 calorie diet, the body will see that as a stressful situation. Now, we know that cortisol is a catabolic hormone, so it's going to be breaking down that muscle tissue. So therefore, she's got that against her as well. So she's losing that metabolic fairness, and she's probably going to have more body fat to muscle mass. And I think that is why a female isn't losing weight. She's too highly stressed. And I think until you start to get that cortisol level down and the hormones can work with you, I'm not saying that she won't lose weight, but weight loss will become harder. And now, if we do all those things, her weight loss will gradually become easier.
And also, no one looks at the fact that when someone is eating that low of calories and they're moving a lot, or at least they say they're moving a lot, then probably not fidgeting it as much, and they're probably a little bit more slow with the way they mope around, and that can decrease your calorie burn as well. So that means calorie-wise, you're technically not burning as much as you think.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I know and you know how effective NEAT is. Like, you know, when you say to someone, right, what are your steps to like 4,000 a day? I'm like, right, that's the problem right there. Let's just increase it a bit, shall we? Let's get moving a bit. I mean, people overthink exercise, don't they? And we know that obviously it's good to get your heart rate up, it's good to get sweaty and stuff like that. But when we're trying to get people to move more, number one basics is, how active are you during the day? Like, what's your step count? That's number one, isn't it? Let's increase the NEAT first before we do anything else.
I always say though, it's easy for us as trainers, because we do have an active job. I do understand it can be difficult for desk workers.
Yeah.
That being said though, if we were going to improve their ability to get active in the day, what are some recommendations you'll give to them?
Do you know what? I try and say, do it in bite size. Like, I want to know what time you start your job. When do you have your lunch break? And go, right, just go for a 20-minute walk around. Or when you go to the toilet, are you taking the lift or are you taking the stairs? When you're driving, can you park a little bit further away from the building block? Just to make it not so overwhelming. Because if you've got someone that's only doing 4,000 steps, 10,000 seems a lot. So I'll do a small goal. I'll go, right, okay, the next 2 weeks, let's try and go from 4 to 6. So then they get used to doing 6,000, and then we just build it up.
We'll get them the little thing underneath the desk where they
the walking pads. The walking pads are amazing.
Stability ball and that at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think walking desk and walking pads seem to be the new thing now, don't they?
I love it. I love the fact that we have it, because I think so many people, as you said, overcomplicate the problem. I mean, look, my mum's 60. I don't want to get this wrong. 63 now. She looks like she's 30. Just she might be watching. So she still swears by this every day. She goes for a walk every single evening after she's eaten, and she does that. She swears by it. Whenever I'm back, she's like, right, we're going for a walk, and I've just like done a long train journey, and I'm just like, oh. She's like, we're going for a walk. But she power walks. She's got to a point where she power walks, and she's looked after herself. And I came back and saw her, and she was like, I lost some weight. I was like, I can see you're looking good, mum. Looking good. But it's important, as I say, that she just does that simple thing. She does a little bit of a weights workout now and again, but her focus point is still just going around and walking. I've equipped her with an Apple Watch now. You know, she's actually conscious of how much she's walking, because I think a lot of people try to guess. And I think arguably as soon as we start to guess guess 90% of the time we're wrong. And even us as coaches, if we're guessing, we're probably wrong about what we're doing at that point in time if we haven't got some data to support it. So it's important. And as you say, I think some people out there, if someone's watching this and they're just in that rut, just reframe, come back, have a look at everything you're doing and just improve one area. Don't improve everything, because I think that's the problem. People get so just like, oh, I've got cortisol belly, or I've got menopause belly, and it's just like everything's going to go wrong. I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm going to do this. I'm like, you don't even go to the gym once. What are you on about going 5 times a week?
That's the thing. It's all or nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like some people, or some people are like, right, I'm going to cut out literally everything. I'm going to have no carbs and no chocolate and no nothing. I'm like, that just sounds like no fun, and that's not sustainable. Like the reason you're failing is because it's not sustainable. It needs to be a lifestyle change rather than a diet, you know, because otherwise you're just going to put the weight back on.
Yeah.
That's
the thing.
Totally agree.
And it is that cycle that people seem to get into. A lot of people that we deal with, I mean, we've heard about yo-yo dieting. People go in, they get a coach, they do their thing for a bit, they come out, they gain all the weight again, and it just repeats the cycle because they haven't built up the main function, which is habits, and teaching themselves that habits are important. I will say one little story very quickly. I don't know if anyone here has travelled to Tottenham Hale train station before.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tottenham Hale has one of the longest staircases I've ever seen in my life. And you've got the escalators going up either side. I still don't understand why that staircase is there. Nobody uses it. But you know what? This bloody nutter did. And I had my bag on me and I was like, you know what? I've seen this a couple of times and all I can see is these people either side of me. As I'm dashing up these stairs 2 steps at a time, they're like, what a nutcase.
You're just trying to beat them up the escalator.
Yeah, I am. And I'm uber competitive. And you know what? I'm not saying people have to do that, but there is like stations where you've got a set of stairs and you've got an escalator. Just go up the goddamn stairs.
Do you know why I know you do that?
Why?
Because I do the same thing.
Yeah.
When I'm walking up the stairs, I want to beat them. Otherwise, I feel like they're better than me in some way. They're ahead of me. I'm like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, and I'm just going to dash it.
It's just the PT in you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember we went to Poland.
Testosterone, mate. It's that little bit of testosterone.
And we went to the salt mines, and there was like, I think it was like 200 flights of stairs. We had to walk down them, and I was the only one thinking, please let me walk back up because I'm going to run up them, right? And at the bottom, she said, we're going to get the lift back. I think I was the only one. It was like, oh no, really? I was like, I was going to run up them. She's like, you're not normal.
But that's the thing. It's just
but it's just the way we're built, isn't it? I'm like, I see that as a challenge.
I know, and our friends always look at us when we're having a beer or something naughty, and they're like, "You can't have that." And I was like, "Yes, I can."
I can. You can't.
The reason why I do this is so I can have this a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. We were at my son. Where was I? It was my sister's. We were on my sister's the other weekend. It was my brother-in-law's birthday, and they were cutting up the cake. And my sister went, "You don't want?" He went, "Excuse me, I will take." It's like, yeah. Thinking I don't eat cake. Like, I will have a slice of chocolate cake. Thank you very much.
It's weird, isn't it, though? Because surely, like...
You're not allowed this.
I'm like, I did it the other day where I've been trying to, like, weigh up my calories doing triathlon training. Hardest thing in the world to figure out how much I'm actually having at this point in time. But I'm, like, gradually building it up by 100, 200, waiting for weight to stabilise instead of it keep going back down.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I have people, when I go back and see my mates, and I've had a few beers, they're like, you sure you should be having that? I'm like, why shouldn't I have them? I've just burnt God knows how many calories this week. You've just sat typing on a computer. Why are you having these right now? But it's weird. It's like people are like, I wouldn't want to say protecting us, but they are kind of like almost go, okay, well, these PTs need to stay fit.
They look at you as a killjoy, don't they?
They do look at you as a killjoy.
You're the killjoy in the group, and it's like, I want a beer. Let's like everyone else. I drink like 8 beers on a weekend, easy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Smash them back. I like splitting the G with the next boy.
Yeah, it's true. It's balancing stuff out as well, and that's where people, again, go wrong with these bits and pieces. Now, I do want to talk a little bit on the context of, we've spoken about perimenopause, we've spoken about menopause. I mean, we spoke about stress. What kind of things can people do to help reduce stress as well, especially ladies?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the really good things is actually meditation. Not that I've ever tried it myself, but there's been really good research out there that it actually helps lower your cortisol levels and aids a peaceful night's sleep. Things like yoga, tai chi, drawing, painting, anything that's going to get that parasympathetic nervous system to start activating, which is going to start shutting down that cortisol. Because the problem is, if you've got a female that has got such high levels of cortisol, maybe they've got a really stressful job, stressful family, that she's not going to be able to shut that off. And then when it comes to bedtime, she is wired. She's like, well, can I sleep? And then she's exhausted the next day. It's like that vicious circle. So we need to think about bedtime routine. we need to think maybe doing some yoga before bed, you know, having some lavender in the bath, making sure we're switching off our phone at 9 o'clock to avoid that blue light, maybe adding some magnesium, because magnesium is brilliant for, like, it kind of blocks the GABA receptors in your brain, so it aids a peaceful night's sleep. And it's been a proven supplement. There's been many females I've recommended it to, and it does really work. So all those sort of things. And also another really good thing is journaling, because we all have busy lives, things on our head. So I always say to them, get a book out and write everything out of here, so you're not going, oh, I've got to do this tomorrow. Oh my God, did I do the kids' homework? Because if your brain is still wiring, it's not going to shut down. So I think setting that routine is really important, especially your phone. I mean, I will put my phone in the kitchen at 9 o'clock. And my sister's like, why don't you text me back? I'm like, because I've stopped myself from scrolling. That's why. And I'm like, nope, no more scrolling. Put it away.
It's so easy.
I love the fact that you said the meditation. And a lot of people, when they hear meditation, especially those that, like, I think it's woo-woo, they think it's sat there, like, you know, putting your hands on your knees and just and like just like doing that. It's nothing to do with that. Like, you can meditate going for a walk. Like, the 30-minute walk to Pure Gym in the morning that I do to train clients, I use that as my opportunity to be present in the moment. And that in itself is a meditation, and I can feel the stress just depleting.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm one of those people that says the same thing about no blue light at night, but I do watch YouTube until I go to sleep, and then I turn it off and go. And I've got a 55-inch TV.
Tut. Such a bad habit, Nick.
Like that, and I'm just like that.
Yeah.
I fall asleep like a baby.
Yeah.
So some of these things will work for you, some of these things won't, as well as others. Like, try something that you haven't done yet.
You're clearly a white noise person, because my son does that.
Maybe I did SES selection.
Maybe as a baby, your
mum
mum had something going in the background and you got used to that noise, because there's lots of people that sleep with their TV on.
running through my veins. That's what it is.
That would be me, because I used to fall asleep when I was a child in the pram to a hairdryer attached to the pram.
Oh my gosh.
My mum genuinely used to attach the old portable hairdryers to a pram, and I would fall asleep.
Okay.
And to this day, I cannot sleep without a fan. I have to sleep with a fan, or I have to sleep with white noise. I don't sleep.
I can literally fall asleep anywhere.
I go have Alexa. Alexa's got white noise, isn't it?
You actually put. So
Yeah.
what does your girlfriend think when she sleeps?
She's fine. She sleeps like a baby now.
Okay.
Her sleep's improved. I'm doing God's work here without realising it. But yeah, I have to, and I get too hot, so I just kind of like. I used to have a fan all through winter. Camping. I have done camping before.
All the noises you hear out there, man, in the woods.
Cows.
All the little cracks all the twig
The calming
snaps.
sound of the I'm sleeping.
No, it's when you hear the twig snaps next to your tent, you're like, what was that?
Yeah, I've definitely done a runner if that was me.
Normally like a badger or something like that. I do want to come on to something which you mentioned, which was magnesium. Now, that also ties into diet quite nicely. Now, are there any foods out there that our perimenopausal, menopausal women should really be focusing on when they are struggling with losing weight and wanting to help their symptoms?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, magnesium, really effective. So things like avocado, dark leafy veg, things like that, all that sort of thing. But also another thing is, the reason why magnesium is so important is because when we're training, because of like the uterus, especially if you're on your period, magnesium helps with the contractions. So if you're not taking on magnesium or a magnesium supplement, your muscles won't have the ability to contract, and you're more likely to have more cramps when you train. So like muscular cramps, so that obviously hinders us. But foods I would definitely include, because I think you sent me some questions about the Mediterranean anti-inflammatory diet sort of thing. That is basically how you should definitely eat, because at the end of the day, it does cause more of an anti-inflammatory response in our body. So it's a good way to eat. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got healthy fats. Healthy fats help with hormone synthesis. So one that's going to help with your hormones. You should be eating complex carbs. And I'm talking good carbs like pulses, lentils, whole grains, lots of fibre, protein, gut health, because obviously your microbiome, if you haven't got a good gut health, that actually will prevent your estrogen being effectively broken down and being used efficiently to the cells as what we need to. So gut health's number one for me. Too many females do not have good gut health. And we're talking like 78% of your immune cells are present in your gut health. It affects your mood. It affects everything. There's lots of research out there now saying how important and overlooked people don't think about their gut health. And I'm like, right, let's talk about your pre and probiotics. Are you including those in your diet? Because, your gut health actually controls how your body body absorbs carbs, fats and proteins, and if you lose weight, and you've got 2 different types of bacteria in your bowel, so I'm not going to pronounce them, but one of them will obviously make you lose weight, and one of them will make you crave crap. So if you have got an imbalance in there and you're craving that sugary stuff, that is a massive sign that you need to sort your gut health out.
That is really interesting, because we spoke about this before on another podcast. I'm going to say it again today. There was a study that took an obese person's fecal matter.
I've read this study.
You read it, yeah?
Yeah.
And they took someone that wasn't obese, so leaner.
Yeah.
They took the fecal matter and they transplanted it into both body, and then you saw the athletic person get fatter,
Yeah.
and the fatter person lose weight.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
One of it's called like bacteriophiles and thermocytes or something. Like it's really ridiculous to pronounce. But one of them craves sweetness, and if you've got the other one, you're more likely to have a lean body composition and stay lean. It's crazy.
Well, people think that the brain is what makes you hungry for food. It's not. It's the gut. The gut tells the brain, "I want this," because
Well,
the
they
bacteria
work closely together. You know, it's all related.
Yeah. And we forget about that a lot of the time when it comes down to dietary side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I've really been kind of delving into with clients is stopping their diets looking like a toddler's packed lunch, because I find like that's one big struggle that people are having. And I noticed it down in Tesco's just a minute ago when I was picking up like a meal deal, and it's when people are selecting their food, they're like, "Oh, I'm being good." They're like, "I might grab a chocky bar now." Like they've got a pot of mango and then they go get a chocky bar, and then they're like, "I fancy another one after that." And it's like this kind of like misunderstanding between the kind of food that they should be having, where there's not really like a wholeness to that. They're having some fruit, which is great, and having a chocolate bar, but where's like the actual satiety in there at that point in time for volume side of things and volume's sake?
Not much fibre
But I could probably stand in there and listen to many conversations based around lunchtime meal deals, and a lot of people won't really know where to go.
No, it's the vegans. There's nothing wrong with vegans, by the way. Your girlfriend's lovely. But there are some vegans in this world. Like you'll have a conversation with your girlfriend about something about how the vegan diet doesn't have the same bioavailability that eating meat does, and then the vegan has to jump into the conversation, and it's like, I'm not having this conversation with you. I'm just chilling. I'm just talking to my girlfriend about it. But there's such a massive confusion around food in general. But that being said, let's say you've got someone that has the stereotypical McDonald's meal deals and convenience food diet. What would be the first thing? Because we don't want to change everything at once. It's quite difficult to change everything at once. So what would you say is the first thing? You've tracked it. You've seen what they're eating.
I would just try and educate them on choosing whole proteins, really, because the thing is, if we have things like quite a processed diet food and lots of refined sugar, one, that's not great for our hormones, it's not great for insulin, and lots of females don't realise that our body composition shifts and our insulin shifts. Like when we're in our 20s, it wasn't the same. When we'd have something like a McDonald's and stuff, we would quite happily, like your body would deal with that. Your insulin would take away the glucose, you'd go settle it back down. But now it's not like that anymore, especially if you're not doing your strength training as well. So you become more insulin resistant. So your body is kind of trying to deal with that sugar in your blood, but the cells aren't accepting it anymore because the lock's now rusty and the key can't fit in the hole anymore. And then it's like, well, what do we do? Oh, well, let's pump out some more. And then you end up storing it right there. And then it's that vicious circle, and then your cells are still feeling depleted of energy, so you're still getting that craving to go, we need more food, and then they're straight away, they're like 3 o'clock, I need a chocolate bar, I'm hungry. And that's where they end up going wrong. And you try and say to people, okay, there's nothing wrong with having a bit of chocolate or having a McDonald's every now and then, but if we eat a good diet and you're filling your cells properly and you're keeping your insulin stable, those cravings will be bye-bye. That belly's going to shift. Do you know what I mean? It's just about educating the importance of these 2 things make a big deal in a female.
So we would say protein first in that situation. And then once we've done protein, the next step would probably be like complex carbohydrates.
Yeah, and fibre. Because so many people do not eat enough fibre. And as we guys know how important it is, fibre fills you up, you know, and it's good. It prevents things like bowel cancer, which is something we can prevent by eating a good diet.
And it's a prebiotic as well.
Yeah, of course it is.
It feeds bacteria in the gut, so you don't necessarily have to take probiotics, but it is one thing. Fibre can actually help feed good bacteria.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you go on to supplements, like you say, right? we know that most supplements will come out in your urine, okay?
Yeah.
Real food's always the best. But if there's someone out there that for some reason doesn't like fruit and veg or something like that, then okay, let's think about plan B here.
Yeah.
But definitely pre and probiotics, things like kimchi, sauerkraut, miso stuff, natural yogurt, and then you've got your stuff that feeds it like garlic, onions, asparagus, all those sort of stuff.
I love garlic, mate.
Get as
Everything,
much,
onion and garlic, every meal.
You
I
know,
swear.
chickpeas, all that stuff. Your gut loves that stuff.
Yeah.
And just watch how your body changes.
I will say there's a lot of diets that come around when it comes to speaking about things like this as well. How many clients have you had come your way who have gone on to diets, like really strict diets, like I'm talking the Cambridge diet, the carnivore diet, like really, really heavy vegan diets? And how do you then kind of have that conversation with them to kind of like bring them back the other direction?
So actually, I've just taken on a rather new client, and she was raving about, bless him, God rest his soul, because he's passed away, like Dr. Mosley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the 800 calorie diet, and I'm just like...
That's the guy who died recently.
Yeah, he
The guy who
died,
created
didn't he? He was in... Where was he? He was abroad somewhere, when he went for a walk, and he didn't quite make it back because he didn't take his water.
Oh, it was... Oh,
where was it? Was it Greece somewhere?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
He was found on a boat. He was found on a boat, wasn't he? Was that one?
I don't know. I didn't recognize the name, but I recognised the book.
But like crazy enough, I mean, that guy was like world known, recognised, had loads of seminars, everyone loved him. I'm like, why is everyone jumping on this? 800-day calorie diet is like criminal.
It's one meal.
Yeah, exactly. I probably have about 700 calories for breakfast.
Yeah.
Was that is that supposed to be every day for the rest of your life, or was that just like a fasting period?
Yeah, it's like trying to get a fasting period. But
Yeah.
the thing is, what makes me really angry when we talk about weight loss for females, they only look at the scale weight. They're like, yeah, I've lost 4 pounds. I'm like, if I lost 4 pounds that week, I'd be concerned how much muscle's going there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and people are too fixated on how much weight I've lost, okay? I'm like, actually, I prefer a little bit slower, because my job here is I want to preserve as much muscle tissue, because as we age, it's harder to retain that muscle. So for me, muscle preserving is really my number one goal here. So I'd rather my clients start slightly higher on their calories and be more actively in the gym and get your steps in before I even think about going, right, we've tried everything, we are going to have to take some calories away, because I want them thriving. I want their calories and I want their hormones happy before I have to take away their calories from them.
I love this, because this is basically the emphasis of what PerformWell Podcast is about performing and being well. And like, rather than focusing just fat loss, which will improve your wellness over time if you do lose weight, doing it in a way that actually makes you perform better is definitely the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
And like you've been saying it, we've been saying it for ages. Everyone's been saying it, like that we've had come on, but somehow people don't see this. They get stuck in this thing. I just have to lose weight as quick as possible. I'll take Manjaro, even though I'm not obese.
I saw something about that recently. Have you seen the pancreas side of things?
Yes.
They've already found a side effect with Manjaro about the, what is it? It's damage to the pancreas, and the pancreas is no longer producing the cells that it needs to produce to
I'm not surprised, mate.
keep a healthy body. And I've said that for a while, because I've had clients turn around to me like, I haven't lost the weight. Maybe I should just jump on Manjaro. They say it very emotively.
Here's the downsides to Manjaro and Ozempic for those that don't need it. And I'm still going to, obese people, lose weight as quick as possible. I will give it to you.
Like
Go for
we've
it.
spoke about before,
But, osteoporosis risk over time because of nutrient deficiencies in the body. Nutrient deficiencies in general, like you won't feel good. Your body won't produce the hormones it needs. You'll lose muscle mass. I know, like my client Kate, she's been working on getting in shape like the way that I suggest, which is eating well and training hard.
Yeah.
She's got mates of hers that don't. They take Manjaro and they lose their frame. They look
it's
skinny,
like skinny
but
fat, isn't it?
Yeah, they've
Skinny
lost
fat.
their arm, they've lost their arms.
Yeah.
Why?
And it's the things they can't see. Okay, my concern is, what's your bone density like? Because they'll believe, and your risk of osteoporosis is now going to increase. It's the things that female don't think of. They're just thinking about, oh my God, I've lost a stone, I'm going to fit into that dress. What about the things you can't see?
Yeah.
Don't take the easy way out. And the thing is, females are vulnerable. They are desperate. They might see something on Instagram and go, oh my God, I'm so fat, and we are too easy as a female to take the quick fix, because we're so fixated on losing weight.
Apologies for interrupting the podcast. We know you're getting fully engrossed into this episode, and we really appreciate you stopping on the video on YouTube or on Spotify if you found us through one of the search pages. Make sure to leave a review and a subscription if you haven't already. But we just wanted to interject a point here that me and Nick have 15 years of coaching experience between us, and it's only getting better as we've got better guests on the podcast. The only way we can do that, though, is with the growth of our program that we've just released. We've got a 12-month PerformWell program, which has just dropped, and we'd love you guys to get involved in it. If you want to know more details, make sure to head to the description, as we've got our website in there, which can give you a full overlay of the program. We're looking to help career-driven professionals, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and anyone dominate their life by improving their lifestyle. Me and Nick like to claim ourselves as experts in this area, and if you want to check out some of our own other transformations, I'm sure you do. We've got some amazing people who have performed so well off the back of this program. Have a cracking day, and we really appreciate your time. Let's get back to the podcast.
I would argue that Manjaro and Ozempic are the equivalent of taking steroids for a man that's trying to get big and not needing it in the first place.
Yeah. It's like I always say to females, you know, stop trying to be the small version of yourself and become the biggest, strongest version of yourself. Why are we should be taking up space, not becoming skinny minis. Like that's like 90s. That's past. I want to bring an era of strong, badass females that look strong. Do you know what I mean? Skinny's gone, guys. You know,
start terrifying the blokes in the weight section.
Oh,
That's what we fucking need.
Don't worry, I do all the time.
Who was it? We spoke about you and Thomas, didn't we? Because you and Thomas didn't fancy doing a workout. Anyone who doesn't know you and Thomas, he's an Olympian, and Gemma came over to him one day, and we were talking about this on another podcast, and he was so terrified about doing a workout with you.
Do you know what? I had the most amazing compliment the other day, actually. I was PTing in my gym on Monday, and I don't normally do evenings. Mm-hmm. And I was chatting outside, I had my top off, I was chatting away to my client, and then I went. And when I went in on Tuesday, Dan, the owner, went, come over here a minute. I went, what? He went, you know, you were chatting outside last night. I went, yeah. He went, well, those two guys over there hadn't seen you before. They were like, who's the blonde Jack girl? I was like, yes, they called me jacked. Like, I think it's amazing. They're like, my God, she's so jacked. She's got more muscles than me. And I'm like, yes. They're like, we need to train with her. I said, I would literally annihilate you in the gym.
Yeah, it's true. 100%.
You know, I train to intent. We need to talk about that as well, about females training. Like, you need to train with intent. So many females will come up to you and go, how do you build muscle? How do you look like that? I train my ass off. You know, you'll see, if you ever see me in the gym, I'm normally the girl going, trying to get that last rep out. You have to push it.
To be fair, when it comes to training the arse, literally, like the glute, women probably do train the most intense I've ever seen. Like that's their main muscle that they train intense with.
Yeah, but that's all they want to do. They don't do upper body. It's just glute day 5 days a week.
I don't want to look like a man. That's why. That's what I say to you. And it's like, it's going to take you a lot to look like a man, mate.
I'm like, I've got an arse. I'm a man. Well, that doesn't count. It's so weird. But no, I agree with you. I've had clients come in before, and I've started putting on weights. They're like, what are you doing? No, what do you think I'm doing? I'm putting more weight on. You can do more. And it's like that belief of building up. I have so many people stop short and like, I can't do it. I'm like, you can't do it because you're not used to being discomfortable, uncomfortable. So how do we instill this though? How do we get ladies and even blokes training with more intent?
Testosterone, buddy. Get them some testosterone.
Definitely.
Testosterone is an aggressive forward motion hormone. It gets you to lift heavy, be intense.
It does, but I think it goes back to the HRT as well, because you've got to think, when you lose estrogen is an anabolic hormone just as much as we need testosterone. Yeah. They're losing that. They're losing that anabolic hormone. So they have to, if people don't do HRT for, I don't know, for some reason they've had breast cancer and they can't have it, they need to be lifting strong to make sure they're getting that stimulus to build some muscle, because otherwise you are going to have sarcopenia, you are going to have osteopenia. You need to do something to protect yourself now. So, you know, females shouldn't be scared to start lifting, but they need to start at the baseline.
Do you still get an, you know, when you weightlift, your testosterone goes up for a spike and it comes back down again. Does that same thing happen with estrogen as well?
It depends on like where you are on your period as well, because the hormones work differently at each stages.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's all about that kind of like, I guess it's reading your body at the time, isn't it? So I guess for individuals, it's about identifying your specific symptoms at different time frames, because it does tend to vary, obviously, from person to person on how much luteal phase will impact someone if they are going through like the normal menstrual cycle.
Yeah, so like for instance, right, say I was on my period right now, yeah? So when you're generally on your period, your hormones are like rock bottom. So that's when females will feel the most tired. So that's when I would say, right, let's have a deload week. Let's maybe do more reps, less white, because you haven't got the energy. But then when you go into that, in the second phase, like the follicular phase, your estrogen starts to peak back up. So you've got more energy. You can start doing a bit of strength training. You feel great. But then when you hit like the third stage, which is the ovulatory phase, you've got maximum performance. You've got estrogen, you've got testosterone. So that is when you'll be able to PB like your run, where you'll be able to do your 5x5 lifting. And then, like you say, when you go into that luteal phase, your progesterone kind of rises, but that leaves you still feeling quite tired. So I would say that's more just maintenance. And also, I think the key to any female that's listening to this is listen to your body. If you've done a training session and the next day you are wiped out, you need to think about, what's my training looking like? Am I fueling correctly? Am I recovering? Am I sleeping? Am I resting? Because if you're not doing those things, you are fighting against your body. And it's really important as a female, you work with your hormones and not against your hormones.
Yeah, 100%.
What a message for you girls.
I love that. I think that is so important that people need to understand and educate and take the time to do it, because it's going to help them in the long run. Can we talk a little bit about, let's go into a little bit about the training side, because I think it's always an interesting conversation for people coming in. Now, you said there that obviously a lot of ladies come in, they want glutes. I get a lot of ladies who want to do their bingo wings, you know, in their arms. What is it, if people were coming in, they turned around to you and said, right, Gemma, I really want to improve my overall physique, overall, not specific areas. What would be, say, a kind of one session plan that they could follow that could start them off?
So I always will do, if I've got an hour with someone, I'll do a bit of full body, because we know that actually full body creates quite a good protein synthesis and you're going to get the best buck for your money. So I will hit the big muscles first, and then I might do a little bit of isolation stuff as well. But yeah, I would start with that. So things like your squats, your deadlifts, your glute bridges, because although we're trying to build strength, we've got to think about postural problems as well. And you've got to think about mobility and balance and plyometrics and motor functional directional exercises. You need to be hitting every single box when it comes to longevity and getting those good results.
I think it's important why people need to get PTs and coaches, though, because people are going to be listening to this and they're going to be like, what?
What's all that she just said?
Exactly. Yeah. And like, I think it's important that people need to understand that, you know, all three of us on the sofa have been so highly educated in this field, and we've had so much experience with people over the years, and you just picking up a workout of Chloe Ting online isn't going to get you where you need to get to. It's just not.
Unless you're a 21-year-old woman that happens to be Chloe Ting's genetics, and then maybe...
Yeah, you're
in
genetic
that, like,
free and you're full
0.1%
stacked of
niche.
testosterone.
There may be.
There may be a chance.
They're probably out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the other thing I see quite a lot on is a lot of Instagram posts on Pilates, and she's clearly already been doing strength training and she is stacked. And you too can look like me with 20 minutes a day. I'm like, well, you've clearly weight trained before to get that muscle
It's
mass.
the Pilates reformer, isn't it? Everyone, like, I always find these things, these little fads come out of nowhere, and like at the moment I've seen a lot of this Pilates reformer thing being talked about. It's that device that looks almost like a torture rack.
Oh, it is a torture rack.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. There's people in it that use it and it works to some degree, but they don't get big from that. They don't get in shape from that.
No, and like you say, Pilates is great because one, it's lowering your cortisol levels, but it's not going to build the muscle. You need that stimulus, you need that load to build, and it's not going to do that.
And I think the thing is as well, people get bought into that. They really do. And like, I hate to say it, but you need to have some experience. You don't have to go to a gym. I do want to say that now. You don't have to go to a gym to weight train. And I think that's one thing that scares so many people. And a lot of inquiries that we tend to get are people come to us because they don't want to go into the gym alone. You can pick up some dumbbells from Decathlon for £25 and start. And start from there and build yourself up.
And you can start with body weight. It's not the same. Like body weight will never get you the kind of bigger, like let's say you want a big booty, for example. There's not really many body weight exercises going to do that. It's very hard to do that. So yeah, definitely start body weight if you want to start at home initially, and then start investing in kit. And a kettlebell great option. I find a weighted vest was a great option because you can use it as a kettlebell. You can use it as a dumbbell if you just do that with it. And you can use it as
weighted vest is great for adding to your walking as well.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of studies around that as well. And also
really good during perimenopausal and menopausal. Yes, and that extra resistant, that weight bearing bone stuff that we need to build that bone density up.
I had £80 in COVID to get a piece of equipment. I was looking at a kettlebell, but I was thinking, just one kettlebell, I need like at least 2 sizes, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought weight belt, because you can take the weights off, put the weights in, you can use it for anything. It was a game changer.
Do you know what? Because I'm clearly a psychopath. I actually had a weighted vest and I went on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Like I told you, I'm a maniac. And I did 20 minutes and literally I was like really regretting my life decisions. I was like, oh my God, I'm literally dying right now.
You know what? Mad though,
brutal,
isn't it? People genuinely think, like, everyone's like, oh, that PT is going to put me through the rigor. I'm like, no, we put ourselves through the rigor. We probably won't get you doing that, to be honest with you, because it's a challenge for us. If someone,
oh my God.
I'll tell you what, if someone came to me and how quick can you lose weight, I'd say just jump on the Stairmaster and do.
I'll tell you something. When I was doing SAS selection, I had 55 kilos on my back for 40 miles.
Yeah.
It was savage. Like, not only that, but it's 50 kilos and it's on a rucksack that's ripping into your skin every time you're moving about. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm that sick person that will put a 20 kilo vest on and do that.
I know.
Because it does something to your body that nothing else can. Like, it's the most ridiculous form of training.
It's such a simple
crazy,
change.
isn't it?
It's the obese people. It's the people that are obese out there that need to lose weight and then they put a weighted vest on. It's like, you already weigh 160 kilo. Like, you've got a weighted vest on your body right now. Use that.
Yeah.
You don't need to put a weighted vest on you to burn fat.
No, you don't. It's just all the little, again, it's a little
She's
fad,
just a maniac, and so am I.
Yeah, but we all are.
Yeah.
We all are maniacs.
I mean, what PT clearly hasn't got ADHD? Because that seems to be, you can only be a PT if you've got ADHD, and you're clearly a psycho. Tick,
Okay,
tick.
I've got a question, because this, I swear, I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like most PTs have this problem. Can you count reps?
I've been told that my count is shocking.
Can you
So
count reps?
I get
clearly,
to 4 and I get to 6, so I go 4 and then I jump from that.
No,
They're like, I had 2
I
more.
missed the
Yeah.
first 6, and then I start counting after 6, but I don't know where it starts. So I'm
it just
like,
must be a PT thing. Because my clients thought that was 10. I was like, it was 8.
Yeah.
I always say 2 more to them.
Same. It's the classic 2
Yeah.
more. And
2
I've got
more.
clients who turn around and go, I'm going to get you a badge that says 2 more on it. Because you just say that because I know you
I
haven't
thought
got
it
a
was
clue.
just me until I saw Lima or someone on Instagram do a funny skit about it, and I was like, damn.
No, it's all
Yeah,
PTs,
no.
I think, across the board. I've started counting on my fingers. So if I'm talking and having a conversation, I cannot have a conversation and train someone at the same time. So I've tried to start counting on my hand when I'm doing reps, so then they can continue to talk and I can interact, and it distracts them doing whatever they're doing for 5 minutes. And then I'm just like, okay, right, I am on 10. But then sometimes I miscount on my hand, so it just goes out the window.
What? Okay, this is a little bit off topic, but what is the most random conversation you've had with a client whilst training them?
Oh, God,
'Cause
I
I
have
swear.
so many on a day. Most random conversation. I would probably, is this really random? It's probably not. Mainly probably about fairs. I think it's
Fairs?
very random, yeah.
I was talking about the Mandela effect today and deja vu
Deja vu.
for 1 hour.
That was a deep
Oh, what about
conversation.
psychics? I've had a conversation about psychics.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's been really
Christ.
quite deep.
Yeah.
I had a chat with I had a conversation with one of my clients today. Sometimes you just get a client who you think you know really well, and they crop up with this bit of information. You're just like, what?
Yeah.
So my client, he's no brag, but genuinely really interesting job. He works as the economics director for Southampton City Council.
Yeah.
I asked him to get a parking ticket off once. He didn't let me. He developed. I don't know how familiar you guys are with football. He was involved in the development of the Etihad Stadium's training ground. He's also involved in the development of like the St Mary's training ground. He's met the advisors for the Sheikh of, I think it's Kuwait, something like that. And I was just like, what?
It's crazy,
I've been
isn't
training
it?
you for 2 years and you've never told me this. It's just insane.
See, this is the thing about clients. Like, clients think that it's a one-sided thing. Like, they're paying us and we're helping them, but we learn so much from them because they all have different jobs.
Oh my God. You are literally like a counsellor
Yeah.
and a trainer. I mean, the amount of therapist sessions I could be like charging for is ridiculous. Like, I give out my advice to people if I can. They tell me their problems. I mean, I've had people talk to me about their sex life or whether they love their partner anymore. And I'm like, wow, this is like deep. Where do we get from training to getting so deep into the conversation? And it's just weird. But I think the most random thing that's ever happened to me is I lost my dad like 6 years ago through like, he was an alcoholic, right? And I was training at Pure Gym and I was still like, it was still quite fresh in my head. And no word of a lie, this woman came up to me and put her hand on my shoulder and said, your dad wants you to let you know that he's all right. And I was a bit like, I started crying in the gym because it just took me by surprise. She's like, he knows that you've been crying and he just wants to let you know that he will be okay. And I thought, one, this woman doesn't even know me. Two, like, I'm like in the gym crying. It's so embarrassing. But it's just so bizarre. Like, I do have like, there's got to be something to the whole psychic world. You won't believe it or you don't. But when that kind of just happened, like out of the blue, I was like, that was trippy. Really weird.
That sounds really trippy, especially to know her as well.
It was.
Was this put publicly on social media at the time?
I don't think she was like a random follower or anything like that. Yeah, she just, I've seen her in Pure Gym a few times and she literally, she works, I think she works at the hospital. But I never came across her when I was in there with my dad. Right. But it's just weird. Like, it literally freaked me right out a little bit.
I'd be like,
but to like make me cry like in a public place was like mortifying. I'm like, I don't really want to cry in front of people right now, but thank you very much.
No, I agree completely. I agree.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
Right,
should we get the wheel?
Yeah, we'll get the wheel.
Yeah. Right, the wheel of misfortune. There we go. You haven't seen the wheel yet, Gemma, have you?
I have, because I've seen a few podcasts. Oh, yes. I did have a look at the wheel.
It's moving on. People are seeing it now. Good.
It looks like a game show. What am I going to win?
We still can't find a place to put it because it's so awkward right there, but it is what it is.
I'm jumping from.
Oh my God, get your cable.
Come on. Yeah, hold on, let me move your kombucha.
It's kombucha, guys, that's good for you.
Kombucha. Yeah, so kombucha.
Right then, so...
Let's spin it that
Let's spin it. Shall I spin first? You want to spin? Do that. Okay, so we're going to go for it.
So it's overrated, underrated, or rated. Functional training.
Well, I suppose it all comes down to what your goals are.
Yeah.
When it comes to functional fitness, doesn't it?
It does. It does depend. Yeah. I can't say it's over or underrated. I mean, it's just it is.
I'm going to tear in that. I'm just going to say it's overrated because of the context of functional training. Just because when people say it's not functional, I'm like, everything is functional that you do in the gym. There's a purpose.
Function for something.
Yeah, it's a function for something.
Your rotational moves. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I think most people, when you say functional training, they're thinking training that can be used for most things, most disciplines, like something that's bang in the middle between powerlifting and running and all these other disciplines. That if you did it, you would have a little bit of skill for everything.
Yeah,
that's what I think of functional training. And
like
in
Turkish
that case,
get up, something like that.
Yeah.
That's functional, isn't it? Because you move through 5 different movement patterns in one movement. That would be. But like even then, how often do you do that on a day-to-day basis? It's very rare. You're going from this position into like up nice and tall.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a situation, but I can't think of it. But you know, you have to get out of bed. That's one thing. That's the step. That's the starting point.
Yeah, true. That's the crunches. Functional.
Liver King. I mean, he did it. He does it every day, doesn't he? He lifts a big ass weight above his head and does some crazy ass stuff.
He's a madman, though.
Yeah, I have seen him.
He's a madman. Gemma, would you like to spin our wheel?
Oh, what way shall I go? Shall I go the other way?
Whatever way you want to go.
It wasn't very hard, was it?
Fitness podcast. Overrated, underrated.
We're not a fitness podcast, though.
No, we're not.
We're performance and wellness.
I love a fitness podcast because I suppose it depends who it is. Because like you say, if they're giving out information that is complete rubbish, then obviously that's going to give you the wrong information. But especially like when it comes to menopause, there are some fantastic podcasts out there that females can learn a lot from, like people like Dr. Stacey Sim. She is obviously a sports scientist. And the thing what I love her the most is it's all science-backed information. It's not something you've seen on the internet. There has been hundreds of science research out there to proven this is the way forward. This is how we should be doing it. So I think you just need to be cautious about what you're listening to. And I
agree. I agree. I would say underrated because I don't really know of a lot that are that decent.
No, I don't. There's a few out there, I guess, that kind of blend into it. Like Diary of a CEO hits kind of fitness sometimes, but then again, we know the information from there can never be clear.
But sometimes fitness can be seen as boring and serious all the time, and that's what we try and do. We're trying to like stop that being the case. We want to have a little bit of we want a bit of a laugh. We want to like make it a bit more like, you know, it's about enjoying the process, not about just being serious all the time and stopping everything you're doing.
Yeah, and you have to break it all down.
Yeah.
So go for it.
You could probably do a better spin than I did.
Oosh. Oosh. Water
Oh, we
fasting.
spoke about this earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, we did speak about it. So water fasting.
Underrated.
The reason this
No.
is on there is because Matt Letizia is doing a 48-hour water fast where he is only drinking water. What's our opinions?
Ridiculous.
So overrated.
Yeah, like
But do you know what? I'm not saying that everyone should do fasting, but there have been situations where fasting has helped people. Like for example, Ramadan's a really good thing to mention because they fast for 20 hours a day, depending on the day, obviously.
But again, that's more their religious belief
But
that they
their
have to
health
do that.
benefits after the fasting period is drastic. Like Abs will say himself. Do you know Abs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
But
doesn't
that's for a male. Let's ask the
Yeah.
females how they cope.
True, very true.
Because don't they, like, the thing is as well, it depends on quality of diet still,
Yeah.
fundamentally, because they could fast for 20 hours
Yeah.
and then eat a McDonald's like in the evening, and their health markers will probably drastically
Yeah,
decrease.
but you are
I'm not saying
right.
it's
Men
perfect, yeah.
do so much better
Yeah.
than a female. Like, your health benefits are amazing. You have a better memory. You have better insulin sensitivity. You know, your cardiovascular factors reducedly go down. It's just like, it's totally unfair.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it
is.
is really unfair.
It is.
We are completely different. What works for you, and this is why I think when we talk about diets and training, one plan doesn't fit male or female
No.
because hormonally we are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So yeah, I think we would say overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that one. Oosh. Go again. Chiropractors.
Ooh, overrated. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's a reason. I know there's a reason for them, and there's situations where you need one. But I don't know. Like, there's the funny thing I can think about is the New Forest physio chiropractors that come to Pure Gym, and they look at your hip difference, and they're like, oh, this is higher than the left. You have to come to the chiro because it's going to help you, and yet they've got the same problem. And it's like, well, why are you telling me to solve this problem and you haven't solved it yourself? I don't know. Feels like
I'm
throwing
going to
money down the
say
hole.
underrated just because it depends who you go. So those
Yeah.
ones at Pure Gym, there's
Yeah.
one in town. God, I can't remember what the name is.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking you. I used to do judo for 2 years. I had a real severe neck injury. I was in absolute agonising pain. I went to that one and I don't know, I sold a dream that they could fix me. I spent over £600. I got half my money back. So I was thinking, hang on a minute, Gem, you should know better. And I left them, but then I found the most amazing chiropractor. I'm going to drop his name in, Richard Penn, because he was awesome, who fixed my neck in 3 sessions, and I've never had neck pain ever since.
Yeah.
So I think it's like anything, innit? You can have a really bad chiropractor that's in it for the money,
Yeah.
and they don't know what they're doing. And this guy is so reasonably cheap, and he knows his stuff. I'd put my faith in him 100%.
I had a conversation with my physio about this because he, like, similar to physios aren't fixing you long term, they're giving you the opportunity to fix yourself.
Yeah.
And I think similar with chiros, I think it's dependent if the chiro has a conversation and saying, I can fix you, or what I'm going to do will help you for 3 days. You need to now go do XYZ to help yourself. I think that's where it sits.
Yeah.
I'd go for, like, overrated for the ones that are basically con artists.
Yeah.
Underrated for the ones that are, like, actually educated and understand that what they're doing is not solving an issue, it's
Yeah.
opening up the gate
Yeah.
so somebody can walk through and do it
Yeah,
themselves.
they're definitely there for a reason. I'm not saying that they're useless. It's
No,
just,
but you do have to be careful as well, because
Yeah.
I know that if you go and speak to like an A&E doctor, they hate chiropractors because if you've had like a shoddy one, they've had their neck adjusted, all of a sudden they're like, oh, he came in, he's had a stroke because he did something to his spine which caused a stroke. And you're like, whoa, do you know what I mean? So again,
Damn.
you're playing with somebody's spine. Do you know what I mean? So things can go wrong. So I think you always need to check these people out, and are they qualified? Have they actually got a degree? Do you know what I mean? Before you let someone touch your back.
Same thing though, you can get shit coaches out there. Shit
100%.
coaches,
Oh
shit
my
PTs.
god!
Yeah.
Apart from us, three,
Apart from us,
obviously,
there's
who
no one
are
else.
amazing.
Everyone else in Southampton, you
I
shit.
mean, look, I
sorry.
don't want. If I could go back in time 10 years and go back to how I was in 4 years in my industry, I would slap myself.
Yeah, same.
I'd be like, you
No,
such an
same,
idiot.
100%.
Oh, I'm just saying, I've always been epic. You know, you two, I've always been
We
epic.
believe that, yeah. I can tell.
You know.
Right.
2 more?
Yeah, go on, I'm going to get it all. High rocks.
We've said this before already.
I like chucking it in there.
At the moment, I feel like it's overrated, but I'm going to do it one day because it looks fun, but I'll only do it once.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it does look like fun. We've got something, I'm supposed to be doing something in September if I'm fixed. It's called Deca event.
What, the steroid?
It's something similar,
Yeah.
but it's like there's 10 events, 500 metre run in between. But I think those things are good if you want to challenge yourself. You know, if you want, I think when you're looking at training goals, it's good to give someone focus.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at kind of progressive overload, I suppose it's quite a lot of endurance cardio based, isn't it? So
You're not
again,
really.
depends what your goals are.
The only thing good about High Rocks taking the centre stage right now is CrossFit doesn't.
Yeah.
Because CrossFit had its heyday where everyone was shitting on it, and now High Rocks has taken over that mantle. So
CrossFit is starting to thrive again as well. It's starting to have its moment, isn't it? But I think
Yeah.
High Rocks at the minute, with how cultist it can be as well as High Rocks, is quite overrated. But I think it's beneficial for people if it's going to be a way that someone turns around. Like I've seen 70 and 80-year-olds go and compete in it, and it's inspirational. I think that's great. But I think also that's more of not a specific to the High Rocks. It's just an event.
Yeah.
You know, an event and a story.
just
that
keep your
comes with
shirts
it.
on, guys.
Oh yeah, that
Just
is.
keep your shirts on, please.
Yeah, stop taking your tops off. You don't need to.
If you're jacked, do it.
Yeah.
Fair play to you. But most of you ain't jacked. You're runners. I get it.
Fair dues though. If it gets
Yeah.
people active and gets some exercise, and then you know
Fundamentally.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right, one more time.
Yeah, go on. Do you want to go, Gemma, for the last one?
Big spin.
Go on.
I'm probably gonna. Oh,
Go on.
that
No,
was
go. Training at 6 p.m.
Do you know what? I get asked this a lot. When's the best time to train? And I always say to people, at the end of the day, it's when it fits in with your goals. Like, I prefer to do it in the morning just because I think if you've been at work all day, you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
You're more likely to go, oh, do you know what? I won't go to the gym. So again, it's about when it fits in for you. At the other side of it, if you've got all day of fuel in you, you're going to feel quite strong in the gym. So there's two different arguments
When
there.
I was 23 and I was a bodybuilder and I was doing roids, I would train at 6 p.m. because I loved talking to people and lifting
Yeah.
heavy weights and spending 2 to 3 hours in there. It was my social time. I loved it. Now, not so much. Not so much.
I'm very much in the overrated crowd. I've never enjoyed training late. I personally
It's
don't have
busy,
the
innit?
energy. It's busy. I don't like talking to people at 6 p.m. I barely have time to talk to myself at 6 p.m.
When you're on trend, mate, you're just loving
I
it.
bet
mate.
you tune everyone's ear off.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like a big gorilla in the forest. Like,
just
yeah,
couldn't do
guys,
it.
what's up?
Plus, it's just broccoli hair central these days, isn't it? Like all the 6 p.m. is. I
Yeah.
love people. I'm all for people training.
What's wrong with broccoli heads, man?
Well, it's broccoli hair. It's what it is. It's broccoli hair, and it's like the pajamas. Have you seen that trend where
Yeah.
like lads are wearing like the checkered pajamas into the gym?
No, I've not seen that at JD.
There was a trend where people wearing like vests and then checkered pajamas.
Gemma.
It's really weird.
We're probably similar age, right? So socks and sandals was frowned upon for most of my life, especially. I don't know whether it's the same with you. Now people wear socks and Crocs.
I know, or socks and sliders. It's been to be trendy. My 18-year-old does, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is so uncool. That was so uncool when I was
So
a
uncool
teenager."
when I was- yeah, it's
but
so
now it's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, all the
things
football
change.
players wear them.
And they wear the
Yeah.
socks, the Crocs, and they put those little flare pieces
I
in the Crocs as
know.
well. It's like, what?
What
is
do
going on?
you even like Crocs though?
No.
It's just no.
No, I
come
understand
on.
the comfort value of them, but
James Smith likes them now.
I know, but I'd still go. I hate
They're
that.
ugly. I'm going to put it out there. They might be comfortable, but I am never getting a pair because they're ugly.
I remember
I said it.
they were my
And so
dad's
are
garden
barefoot
shoes.
shoes, guys. I'm sorry to say it.
They're
I like,
ugly,
Yeah.
but they're comfy.
I like barefoot shoes, but they are ugly.
They've got new designs now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Is
some
that
new
the one
ones.
where you can see your toes?
Yeah.
You can- you
that's-
can
that's the
buy
that's the old
some.
Fibrams.
Oh, I don't like those either.
Yeah, no,
that's
they're-
just weird, isn't it? Why do I want to
They're
see your feet?
plimsolls, basically.
Yeah,
People
don't like
do
them.
want to see our feet. I don't know what you're on about.
I've got a hole in this one.
What we'll do is we'll round up there. Gemma, thank you so much for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
I hope people got some value off that. Where can people find more about yourself and your services?
So you can go onto my Instagram, which is GemmaPaddy82, or my Facebook page, which is PT365, or go onto Voice FM.
Yeah.
And listen every Thursday at 4 p.m. to my fitness podcast and my show.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Make sure, if you can, it'd be really, really helpful if you could share about the podcast. Literally just share it with one family member, and it would be really appreciated for helping the podcast grow. Like, the information Gemma's delivered here is fantastic, and the only way we can get more of that out is with your help and with your support. So just keep it coming. Like, follow, subscribe as per usual, and we'll catch you guys later.